see you watching me.
I think I'm stuck. A loud baby. A baby that's always crying. Who wants to just cry, 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 and cry some more. I don't know about that one. It's just something that girls do with your moms, I think. The part of the world that we come from, Ghana, Accra, you need to be street smart. I'm sorry, I'll take that. I'm doing the contour. That's probably not how you do it. I think my kids should prepare to be sick of me, and obviously my partner, so they all have to be ready. I'm not going to say I will never do such a thing. They wouldn't exactly know that they're eating vegetables, but they're actually eating vegetables. Obviously, that's why I'm going to be a culinary genius. I'll let them know that mommy is not happy with you, but the world doesn't end after they do that. Do you get what I mean? I want my children to be better than me in every aspect of life. So if my kids are cooler than me, then that's 1 point scored. Welcome back to my channel. My name is Maxine. If this is your first time here, I'm super glad you're here. If you're a returning viewer, I'm so glad you're back. Please don't forget to hit the subscribe button. Today, I'm going to attempt to do a get ready with me while I answer some questions. So I'm going to see if I can do my makeup at the same time while I talk to you guys or answer some questions. So this is just an attempt. I hope it goes well. And if you like it, don't forget to hit the like button. Subscribe to my channel if you like the content, and leave a comment below. Let's get into it. And just so that I'm not too distracted, I wouldn't talk about the products. I'll just leave the products, pictures of the products on this side or on the side, whichever side is better when I'm editing. So let me just get the first question and then we'll start with the makeup. The first question is, do you think you want to have kids in the future? Why or why not? I definitely want to have kids in the future. I think so many people, when they ask me if I want to have kids, expect me to say yes, and I actually want to have kids. But then most people think that I want to have like 6 children or like 7 children, or just generally just a lot of children. And I don't know why. Like, I don't know why people see me as a mommy. I mean, if it's God's will, okay, but I don't know if I want that, you know. I think I just want like maybe 3 kids, maximum 4. I think that's like the max for me. But yeah, I definitely do want kids. This is definitely harder than I thought it was going to be. I'm still going to finish this video. Anyways, let's move on to the next question. I was just applying my primer when I was answering that first question. If you see me looking down, I'm looking into my mirror. The next question is, do you want to get married? Yes, I want to get married, and I think everyone around me knows that pretty well. Yes, I want to get married. Third question is, where do you see yourself in 5 years? In the next 5 years, I'm just doing my brows now, guys. I want to start working, okay? Because I'm done with school now. If you didn't know that, if you're new to my channel, I've just finished school. I haven't officially finished because my results are not out, like my final results are not out. Like, I haven't graduated and everything. I'm just done with my exams. So obviously I'm done with school now. I would want to be working next year, which is 2026. Guys, I'm overstimulated, but yeah, so I would want to, hey God, oh. Long story short, in the next 5 years, I just want to be growing. Okay, I don't want to be where I am right now in the next 5 years. I want to grow spiritually, in terms of like how I think as well. I want to grow in thoughts, if that makes sense, and in knowledge, that's the right word to use, and just be a better person in the next 5 years. I want to monetize my love for cooking, and I just want clarity, okay, in the next 5 years, clarity on so many things that I don't have clarity on yet, okay, like right now as I speak. I hope you guys get that. Next question is, would I ever move to a different country? Considering the fact that I'm not in my country right now, I am in the UK, I came to study here. Yes, I would be moving, that I know. What is your biggest dream right now? Right now, my biggest dream is to be a very successful food entrepreneur. There are so many things in the food industry that I want to do, So not all of them are even related to like cooking, but then just different aspects of food, okay, that I want to sort of focus on. Over the years, I've come to realize that yes, I love cooking, but I love other aspects of food that aren't exactly cooking. So I just want to be in the business of food. That's like my biggest dream. Do all the different things that I've always wanted to do when it comes to food. The light that I was using, I charged the thing, but the thing has gone off. And it's going to take another like 45 minutes to even charge it to a good percentage for me to use. And I honestly cannot wait. So I'm going to continue shooting this video. When it's done, I'm going to put it back there. So if the light changes, I hope you guys can see me. I'm sure you guys can see me. But just bear with me. This is my first time. You guys can forgive me for this. What has been my biggest challenge this year? I would say that my biggest challenge this year has been doing a lot of multitasking. Guys, this is so funny because I literally just spoke about how I find it hard to multitask. I only find it hard to multitask when I'm not good at one of the things I'm doing at the same time. Do you get what I mean? Right now I'm doing makeup, I'm talking to you guys. I think I'm used to talking to you guys, but I'm not very good at makeup, so then it's hard, right, for me. I had to focus on my masters and I had to be consistent with creating content as well. I'm just going to conceal the brows now. Yeah, so that was quite challenging, even though I really enjoyed it because I enjoyed creating content and I really enjoyed my masters. It was only quite challenging because I did a fast track masters, right? I did marketing, right? If you didn't know that, or for the people that are watching me for the very first time, I did marketing, and marketing is something that I knew I liked even before I signed up to do this masters, because I did business and management for my undergrad, and we did a bit of everything, like a bit of accounting, a bit of marketing, a bit of admin, business administration, a bit of management, a bit of all of that. And I just knew that I liked marketing. And also when I went away to do my placement at IBM, I intentionally found myself or positioned myself to work on a marketing campaign. So I worked on a marketing campaign, and that was so nice because it was a part of marketing that I hadn't even really explored yet. And I quite liked it. And that's when I knew that I had to do my master's in marketing. So yeah, I was multitasking. I was doing that while I was doing content creation. Like I was trying to put a vlog up for you guys every week, but the challenging part was me deciding to do a fast track masters. So instead of doing the normal 12-month course, I said no, I want to do it in 9 months. So everything was compressed, and that was not easy at all. That has been the most challenging thing for me this year, but I still did it. Glory be to God. Yeah. What is one big lesson life keeps teaching you? Okay. This is one thing that I believe God has been teaching me as well, that if I don't learn from a situation, I'm going to take that lesson over and over and over again. I'm going to keep taking that class over and over again until I learn. When you learn from a situation in life, I should be doing my makeup at the same time. Because if something keeps happening, right, and I don't learn from it, next time it happens, I'm just going to act in a very off way, a way that would probably not make me happy in the end, just because I did not learn from the previous lesson. You get what I mean? So that's one thing that life has taught me, and one thing that I think God has also taught me. I remember some years back, it took me a lot to trust in God. I could easily forget what God had done like 2 minutes ago, and I would be stressing all over again, you know? Meanwhile, God just fixed something for me 2 minutes ago. After I came to learn that well, now when something is happening, I don't even really stress. I just, remember that, God did this for me just 30 seconds ago, so I don't need to fret. Ever since I learned that lesson, even when something is delaying or something is not going as planned, I don't panic. I just leave it all to God. So that's something. Hey guys, this is hard. The next question is, what do you do when you're anxious, or what does the thing say? How do you deal with anxiety or low days? When I'm anxious or when I'm just not having a great day, I sleep, I eat, and I pray. Okay, even on those days, I'm really not in the mood to pray on those days. I'm almost always not in the mood to pray on days like that. But what I do is that I honestly, most of the prayers that I do on a day-to-day basis sound like a normal conversation with God, especially because I have my own room here and I have the room to myself. So it doesn't look weird or sound weird. It's not weird. I feel like if I was living with people in the same room and I do that, it would look awkward in a way. But I act like God is literally sat right here in the room because He is here. So I just have like a normal conversation with Him. I don't, turn off the lights, pray. I don't do that. I don't do that on days like that. I just literally have a normal conversation with God and just say, just tell Him how I'm feeling. Sometimes I play, not all the time, but sometimes I just play some worship music and I eat and I sleep. I watch movies. Yeah, I just don't do any work because most of the times the things that actually stress me are related to work or something I'm trying to do that's not quite going well. I just pack it aside, honestly, and sleep, find something good to eat, and just talk to Jesus. That's what I do. How am I still on my brows? Honestly, shout out to all the girls that do get ready with me and they'll be looking, even with I can't, like, it's not my thing. What is your love language? I don't know if I was having this conversation with my sisters, but we spoke about how all the love languages, right? The 5 love languages, I believe, that I love all of them or whatever. I think to a certain extent, we all love all of them, but then we just have to rank them. So that's exactly what I'm going to do now. So for me, I think top of my list would be acts of service. That's top of my list. I don't know if it will come to you guys as a surprise, the ones that know me, but that's top of my list. And I think second for me is words of affirmation. Actually, I recently just discovered that that's actually second to acts of service for me. And then third would be gifts, actually, for me. Fourth would be quality time. And then the fifth would be physical touch. So there you have it. Next question is, how did you find your makeup style? I don't have a makeup style, guys. I just do what I want to do when I'm holding the brush and when I'm not good at makeup. Generally, I'm not. Like, sometimes I do it and it turns out okay, sometimes it turns out nice, but I am not a makeup girly. No, not at all. Like, I think you guys know that I'm not really a beauty girly. I've been trying so hard over the years to be a beauty girl, but it is not exactly working. So I don't know. I need to conceal. Why are we still concealing brows? But guys, let me finish concealing the brows and I'll be back. I'm done with the brows and they don't look that great. But I have this theory that once you're done with the entire look, that's when the brows will start to look good. So let's just continue. The next question is, what would your dream wedding look like? Before I even get into that, right, I have this theory. I have a lot of theories. I believe that everyone says what they want their dream wedding to be like. Like, a lot of girls will say that I want to have this at my wedding, I want this type of flowers, I want it to be white, I want to use these colors. But I feel like when it's actually time for you to plan your wedding, let me say a good 70% out of the 100% of girls that have all these dreams about their wedding day and what they would ideally want it to look like. They just don't care at that point. They're just like, okay, I just want to get married. Like, I feel like we do a lot of compromising, or girls do a lot of compromising when it's actually time to plan for the wedding. With that being said, let me now tell you what I would want my dream wedding to look like. So that's not me saying that that's exactly what will happen, but ideally, let me tell you what I would want my dream wedding to look like. First thing, I wouldn't want a crowd to be at my wedding. Honestly, something I think about a lot. I think my parents just have a lot of friends. It stresses me sometimes that a lot of people might show up just because, that is quite stressful. What I want my dream wedding to look like? I know I would want a lot of flowers at my wedding. I just don't know if I'll be ready to pay for that when it's time, because flowers are very expensive and I will most probably not actually pay for it. I always tell guys, scratch the question. Let's get rid of the question. I'm just going to talk about wedding and some of the things I think about wedding, everything regarding planning a wedding or having a wedding or whatever. Okay, so let's get into it. I feel like I always tell Meg and Matt this thing that I see getting married. No, guys, don't get me wrong. Like, I respect the institutes of marriage, how God has designed it to be. I respect it very much. I'm talking about the wedding, okay, the events. For that event, me personally, I see it as the union of two people in love getting married, But then I also see it as a money-making avenue. That's what I think. I always tell Mag and Meg that I will be trying to find ways to get money from that thing, because let's say that if my parents tell me that, oh, this is how much we're going to give you to plan your wedding or to do your wedding. Like if my parents say that, oh, this is the budget that we have for you, so you can collect this money and use it to pay the vendors however you like that's your business, but this is the money that we have for you. Personally, I will be looking to use about 60 to 50% of that money for the wedding, and I want to keep the rest to do other important things that my man and I would need to do after we get married. That's just me, and that's just my opinion. Just because I don't understand why I should spend so much money on just a one-day event when I have a whole life after, okay, to live with someone. I see it as a way to gather money rather. Not that I'm trying to steal from my parents, but I'm just going to be wise about it. Like, I would not mind at all if my parents invite their friends. They just need to know not to overdo, because I know my parents, right? But if we talk about the people that will be gifting you, the couple, a lot of cash, a lot of money, let's not lie, it's going to be the older generation, okay? The people that are friends with my parents. So I would love them to be present at my wedding. I hope you guys will come for me. I honestly hope that you guys don't come for me. Don't get me wrong, I'll be looking to celebrate love, okay? To celebrate what me and my man we have. And I also want my friends to be there. I want all of my friends to be there to celebrate with me, all of my man's friends. But I don't think I'm going to be that child that will keep telling my parents that no, like, why are there so many grown people coming? Why this, that? Young couples need support, okay? So I won't just collect all the money that I'm supposed to use for the wedding from my parents and go and give all to the vendors. No. I'll DIY where I can, what I can, and I will save the rest for our marriage. I didn't answer the question. What would you want your dream home to be like? That one, I think I can answer, actually. I can answer that. I know that recently a lot of people are quite obsessed with that minimalist vibe. Little to no color, brown tones, neutral earth tones. It is quite nice, not going to lie. But personally, I do want to come home to a little bit of color. Okay, so I believe in having earth-based tones for some of the basic things in my house, and or neutral tones for some of the basic things in my house. So for example, the couch, the flooring, the just like all of those base things. But then I believe in a pop of color, okay? I believe in color, so I would want my pillows to have some color. I would want a pop of color when it comes to paintings, just things that would make the home colorful, okay? And things that I can just switch up easily. So I envision my house to be a safe haven. Like, I want to be excited about going back home every single day after work. And also, I would love a very clean home. Honestly, I cannot just imagine myself going back to a home that is messy. It would drive me crazy. It would drive me so crazy. Even now, when I'm stepping out of this my tiny room, I always want to make sure that I have time to clean up before I step out, because if I come back and the room is a mess, I can cry. I'm going to cry. Yeah, I would rather have all the mess in places where I can't see. I just do not want to see the mess, honestly. I don't think I'm the neatest person ever, but I just do not want to see the clutter. So rather pack everything in the wardrobe anyhow. I don't care. So fast I'm not seeing it, I don't care. I just don't want to see it as soon as I enter the room. So I would want a very neat house. And also in my home, I would want things that would tell you that you're in my house when you're in my house. Like when you get into my house, you should know that this girl likes food. So you will know that I have a very deep love for food. I also want you to easily know the kind of things that my mom would like when you enter her house in future. Do you get what I mean? So I just want our house to feel like a home. I think I've said enough. We can move on to the next question. Next question is, what is a tradition from your family you want to pass down? Okay, so for my family right now, when it's someone's birthday, and actually if you are not new here to my channel, you probably know this, but when it's someone's birthday, we pray for the person. We all get on a call an hour to 30 minutes before the person's birthday, and we pray with the person into his or her birthday. So for example, if you watch all of my birthday vlogs on this channel, you will realize that at around 11:30, my family would FaceTime me, and then we would all pray. They would pray with me into my next year. I literally just said I was supposed to do the eye stuff before. This is so hard, but it was still like, anyways. That is a tradition that we've had for a while now, and that is something that I would want to take with me when I start my own family. So, yeah. Did you come from a big family? Yes, my family is very huge. Nuclear family, even with my nuclear family, we're 7. So I have 2 brothers, 2 sisters, my mom and my dad, so we're 7. And apart from that, I don't remember any point in my life where we lived as a nuclear family alone. Ever since I knew I was a human being, we've lived with different uncles, different aunties. So I've always had a lot of people around me growing up. Okay, so yeah, I do come from a big family. How do you define success for yourself? I like that this question says, how do I define success? Because recently, right, I was given the opportunity to give a talk to the staff of my university about student success. And this question just reminded me about exactly what I plan to talk to them about. In that talk, I spoke about how success, I feel like there's a generic definition for what success has to be. Like not so many people, it's just like society has just defined success in a way, oh, you have to get a good job, you have to have a family, you have to get married, you have to do this, do that, do that. But it is so important that we define success for ourselves. What success is for me shouldn't be what success is for you. Well, it can be, but you just need to make sure that you're being true to yourself. Because obviously some things that I would define for myself as success points can most probably be someone else's success points as well. So yeah, for me, success for me is growth. Like, if in 2 years I think differently in a better way, obviously, if I act differently in a better way, I have succeeded. Growth in different forms to me is success. And I spoke about this extensively in my presentation, because I spoke about growth in academia for me and how that has really been like a point for success for me in my life. So yeah, growth, also being able to adapt to new things and just do it effortlessly well. In the end, that is success for me. It probably isn't success for someone else, but for me it's huge success for me. Also, when I feel at something, not giving up and just giving it a second try, third try, fourth try, until I get better at it. So this is somewhat tied to growth, because it is literally just improving after you failed at something. That's success for me as well. When all is said and done, please don't forget to define success for yourself. Don't let other people tell you what success should be when you're not living your life. So yeah. Next question. Next question is, what part of my life or what aspect of my life am I most proud of at the moment? I would say that I am proud of my life in academia, just because I have seen constant growth in this specific area of my life over the years. Where I am now in academia is not where I was 7-8 years or even years before that. I think I have seriously grown when it comes to schoolwork and just things that have to do with academics. So that's something that I am seriously proud of myself for at this point in my life. I think I have grown so much, and maybe one day I'll do like a whole video about that. I keep saying, I know this isn't the first time that I've said that, but at the right time I'll talk about it. But yeah, it would have to be that. Okay guys, so for what I'm about to do, I've never done some before. Like applying the blush before I do concealer, I've never done some ever before. If it works, cool. If it doesn't work, then we learn, and I know not to do this next time, or I'll just practice and get better at it, because I see people do this a lot. Let me do it before. Jesus Christ, I think this is a lot. Let me just put, have the blush on this side and on that side. Let's start blending it out, and then let's continue with the get ready with me. So the next question, let me get the next question up before we continue. Do you believe in waiting for the one? The one, guys, you know what? I don't believe, this is too much. Guys, I think I messed it up. Hey, okay. No, maybe this is the wrong brush. I'm not doing. I'm supposed to be using this. Okay, let me not panic. Wait, where's the spray? Let me just. Okay, do I believe in waiting for the one? Guys, I have this theory. Yes, another theory. I have this theory, guys, that there's not one person. Like, I think people believe that for every person, there's one special person in this world for you. I don't believe in that. I believe that there's a type of person. I believe that some people in this world are very similar. Like, I believe that there's probably someone in Exeter that has very, very similar traits to me, you know? And I feel like someone can end up with me and then also end up with that person just because we share very, very, very similar traits. I'm sure you guys get what I mean. So considering the fact that I believe in that, I don't think there's one specific person for one person. Like, do you get what I mean? Because if that was the case, honestly, this world, they would have messed things up by now. I'm sure so many people are going to marry people that they are not supposed to be with. Or if it was supposed to be this person is only meant for this person in this world, then the world has probably already messed that up like years ago. I'm sure people will be getting married to people that have not been paired or that are not supposed to be paired. They would have already taken someone's person. So then where do we go from there? I feel like there's a specific type of person that I feel like I can bond with better, or I can have a relationship with. There could be like 20 of those people in the world. That's just an example. So if I don't even end up with one, I can find one somewhere else. Do you know what I mean? So I don't really believe in waiting for the one. I don't believe in that. Yeah, I hope you guys get me. What is your ideal age to settle down? Guys, I used to have an ideal age, but to me now I don't have. I used to say, by 30 I should be married. At first, I remember I used to say by 25 I should be. This is so funny. Thinking about it now, it's so funny because I'm 24 now and I don't see myself getting married at the same time. Just saying. If it's God's plan, well, then do your thing, God. But I don't have an ideal time now. Whenever God, whenever I'm ready, I'll be ready. God knows. I don't want to put a time to it again, or a time stamp or whatever. I know that sometimes these things help in terms of planning. Like, we always say that, God has our ultimate plan, but it's just good to have a rough plan. I think I say that a lot. It's just good to have a rough plan, just so that you know what you're meant to be doing next, while you ask God for guidance. But when it comes to this topic of marriage, I don't know. Okay, if God says I should marry this year, I will marry this year. If God says I should marry next year, I will marry next year. If He thinks that that's what should be happening in my life, it will just happen. And I hope that it happens just as He's planned it to be, or just as He wants it to be. But I don't know when I want to get married. I will tell you what though. Last 2 years, I used to say, oh, I want to get married by 30. Like, oh, at 30, I don't think I want to get married before 30. I say that a lot. But now I'm indifferent. Like, if God wants me to get married at 30, so be it. If He wants me to get married at 25, so be it. If He wants me to get married at 24, so be it. Yeah. Let's move on. What's on my face now? I have concealer, right? Okay. The next question is, would you ever take your partner's last name? Yes, I will take my partner's last name. I would love that, absolutely. I don't know. I might keep my surname, my actual Aduchim. Guys, this is not something that I've really thought about. I would love to keep my surname and take on my partner's last name, actually. I know for sure I'm taking my partner's last name, that one for sure. But I don't know if I would get rid of my actual surname. I might just attach it, or I might lose it. I don't know. I haven't thought about it properly. So yeah. Would you want to raise your kids similarly or differently than how you were raised? I think for some things that my parents did, I will want to imitate in raising my kids up. Obviously, ultimately, I look to God to be able to raise my kids. Raising children is something that I believe there's no formula for. You can literally think you're doing all the right things, it still wouldn't go well. Or, I just don't think there's a formula to that. And for marriage as well, I don't think there's a formula. I know that there are some things that you can do to reduce the risk of certain things happening, right? But ultimately, it is a risk. It is a very big risk that you are taking. To get married, even, it's a risk. And parenting as well, it's a risk. Like, you can't for sure say that if I do this, that, I'm going to get it 100% correct. I don't think that's how it works. This is my opinion, by the way. But however, I believe that doing these things with the help of God makes a big difference. Because then you are accepting that this thing is a risk and it can only go well if you leave it in the hands of God. Or if you invite God to help you navigate that area of your life. So for parenting, before I get into what the question actually says, I believe in submitting this whole parenting thing into God's hands and asking for guidance, what to do daily, asking the Holy Spirit to direct you as to how to train your children, because you can read all the books about parenting in this world and still get it wrong. This is my opinion. So with that being said, I would want to take some things that my parents did, or some tips, or I would want to take some tips on how they trained us and use that for my children, because I think it worked well, not just for me, but for all of my siblings, and we're 5. I'm saying for all of us because I know that something can work on one child and not work on the other child, but some of the things that they did cut across the 5 of us were all very, very, very different. It has worked, and these things weren't exactly harsh things, just some of the nice things they would even do. But also, there are so many things that I also not like to do, just because I feel like in their time, some things were seen as normal, or, the older generation, they just have this thing of, oh yeah, well, this is what parents did and it worked. Even now that I'm saying that I will take some things from them, right? I'm open to learning and to explore better versions of those things that they did that worked for my siblings and I. So I'm not close-minded, okay? I think that's very important. But yeah, I would like to, use some of their training things as a template. Some, emphasis on some, please. Let's move on to the next question. The next question is, would you stay home with kids or work full-time if you had to pick? I'm going to, let me just say this, right? I don't know if you guys I know that some people can tell or can, I feel like for me, when I watch someone on YouTube for a while, I get to know the person a little bit more. I get to know the type of person that that person would be. And I don't know, I'm saying this because I don't know if you guys have realized, or maybe you guys haven't realized, but I don't see myself as someone that would do a full 9 to 5 for life or for a very long time when I even start working. I see myself doing my own thing. Like, I see myself being an entrepreneur. And the reason why I had to touch on this is because it's key to what I'm about to say. Like, because I'm about to answer the question, right? Being an entrepreneur, from what I've learned so far, in school at least, it gives you, you're almost always busy, that is true, but then you then have control over your time. And if I have kids, or when I have kids, because I want to have kids, right? When I have kids, I will want to be able to be flexy. I would want to be able to be there for them. I would want to be able to show up for them when I have to and not have work hold me by the neck. You know, let's say if I was working a 9 to 5 and I had to show up twice in a week for my children, I wouldn't exactly be able to do that. But if I was working on something that would give me the chance to be flexy when I need to, then I can show up for them and then just get back to doing what I was doing after. I don't know if you get, I'm sure you guys get what I'm trying to say. Ideally, I want to be able to show up for my kids when they need me or when I have to. So I don't plan on staying home totally just to look after my kids. But I see myself finding a way, building a system that works for both me, that works for both myself and then them. It's fine if at a point in my life I'll have to, you know, hit the pause button for you know, some parts of my life. Let's say I'm trying to build a business and I've just had kids and they need my attention. I don't mind like pausing, but I don't want to stop, like put a whole full stop and then have to just stay home for the rest of my life and take care of my kids. I don't think I don't think I want to do that. Actually, scratch that. I don't want to do that. So I know God will help me find a way to be the best mom to my children and also achieve the dreams that He's put on my heart to do. So yeah, I do not want to be a full stay-at-home mom, but I want to stay at home sometimes to take care of my children. You guys get the gist. I've said a lot. I'm sure you guys get exactly what I'm trying to say. What scares me the most about the future? I feel like generally when you talk about the future, so many people are scared of what they don't know. Can be like, I don't know what's going to happen tomorrow. I don't know what's going to happen next week. And that uncertainty can be a bit frightening. If we're talking about this in terms of our lives and what we want to do and how things are going to turn out and how that is going to affect what we actually want to do, it can be quite scary. I used to be scared about this a lot. How is my future going to be like, you know? But a couple of years ago, I stopped being scared about that. I have grown enough to know that when I leave things in the hands of God, He will just make sure that everything is okay at every point in time. So I don't like to stress about the future or think about it too much. God will handle it. That's how I see things now. I don't know what next year has in store for me or next 2 years, but I know that God's plans for me are of good and are not of evil. And as long as I stay rooted in His word and I'm constantly going to Him for direction, He will lead me exactly where I'm supposed to be. So I don't like to think about the future. Like, when I get there, God will direct me as to what to do. Next question. I'd like to wear my sweet head. Next question. Do you believe people can change, can fully change, or can truly change? Yes, I believe people can truly change because honestly, me, I think I have also changed a lot over the years. So who am I now to think people can change? Do you get what I mean? I have changed. I've seen myself evolve actually over the years. So I believe that can happen to other people too. I always tell my sisters that change is the only constant thing in life. If you're even a human being and you don't change, then I don't know. You know, obviously, I'm not saying that if you're a good person, then change and become bad. You guys know that that's not what I meant. But in different aspects of your life, change is inevitable. Like, at first, right, I used to find big changes in people quite scary. Like, if I knew that this person was this way, and then in the next couple of years, I see them being the complete opposite, it can be quite scary. Not scary, but it can be quite questionable. I used to find that quite questionable. For me, I used to say, how did this just happen? Like, how did you just change totally, you know? Maybe I haven't just even interacted with them for a couple of years and then I meet them and they've changed. And it's like, wait, what? You were not like this when I knew you. But yeah, I used to think like that before. I've stopped questioning people's transformation. That's what God can do actually. He can literally change someone so much. Maybe I'm so yummy. Hey guys, this thing looks horrendous. Oh, straight to the camera. I believe that people can change, long story short, very, very, very much. For the good. Oh! I want to use the eyeshadow thing. I think that people can change for good and also for evil. People can change. Do you think you're the same person online as offline? Yes, I think so. And I think so, but I think you people, let me explain this properly. If I decided to keep this camera on for 24 hours or for like 1 week and not turn it off and just record my entire life in the week without missing out a second, literally even when I'm going to sleep, I'll be filming or the camera will be on. You guys will see that I'm the same person, just that you guys will realize that there are some things that I just don't show you, but that doesn't mean that I'm a different person. That would be different because I'll be living with you guys if I do that. But right now I'm not living with you guys, I'm just showing you a part of my day. And if my friends were here and I wasn't filming and I was just doing this Gary do with me with them, this is exactly what I'll be doing. I'll be answering the questions just as I'm doing now, and I'll be doing my makeup. So I don't think my online self is very different from my offline self. Do you get? I think online Maxi is the same as offline Maxi. It's just that you don't see everything that I do in a day. That's the only difference in my opinion. Okay. Video with the very chaotic. My tummy is really rumbling because all I've had today is the iced Americano. That's all I've had actually. I'm not even done actually, I want to finish it.
I remember the first time we met, face to face. Kiss on my neck.
I was shy of the blush at first. I didn't think it was going to work, so I will do more blush when I finish this. Do you like it so far? Okay, don't comment because it's not good. The next question is, would I move for love? Like, would I move countries? Would I change jobs? Would I do what for love? If I decide to marry someone, okay, or when I decide to marry someone, that decision that I'm making to marry the person is not just to marry the person because, oh, I think that I like you very much. There's that. And there's also me making a commitment to the person, or me making a decision to be committed to the person. If we get married, or when we get married, and my partner maybe gets a new job somewhere, and we sit down as a couple and realize that this is going to be good for us generally, it's going to be good for the kids, it's going to just help us generally, I would move. You know, it's something that we'll discuss. Like, I'm committed to that relationship, I'm committed to that, to my family. So we discuss things and then we make decisions after. But I'm not going to say I would never do such a thing.
I would never do such a thing.
I don't think I'm ever going to say I would never do such a thing and be close-minded about it. Meanwhile, I've made a promise to be committed to that person. I'm open-minded, so we'll talk about it. Yes, maybe I thought I was going to live my entire life in Accra, but now that we're seeing things, this will work for us better as a family, you know. So yeah, I'm going to be very open-minded, knowing that I'm committed to my family, committed to my partner. Yeah, I'm trying to make this thing look nice because ouch. What is something you want to teach your future children? Something I want to teach my future children is the importance of getting to know God for themselves. Okay, I pray that my children would have a desire to want to get to know God, or would love to hear the things of God, or would love to want to, study about the things of the Lord. But I want them to have their own experience with God, because for me, I think that was an important part of my Christian journey. I know that, or you guys probably know that if you're from an African home, the Christians that are watching me that are from African homes, you guys know that in the traditional Christian African home, you go to church as a child, whether you like it or not. I don't think it's wrong that as a child, your parents will take you to church. If I have children now, I will take them to church. When we're going to church, I will teach them the things of the Lord. But it will get to a point in their lives where they would have to make that personal decision for themselves. And I would want to be able to give them that opportunity to find God for themselves, I feel like that's very important. You can't keep forcing your children every day read about. Imagine me being here, my parents calling me every day, make sure you pray, make sure you read your Bible, make sure you do this. Actually, I think that would annoy me, if I'm being very honest. I feel like, I don't know if my parents planned it or if they were intentional about it, but me, I want to be very intentional about giving my children that space to find God for themselves at the right age, with God being my helper and guiding me as to how to go about it. But I think that's something that I want to do for my children. I want them to find God for themselves. When you find God for yourself, you love Him better, and you just have a deeper understanding of the kind of person that He is, and that's where your personal relationship starts from, in my opinion. So that's something I want to do for my children. Would I rather want my kid to be street smart or book smart? Please, I would rather my child be street smart, I beg you. I hope that the school people won't come for me. I want my kid to rather be street smart, please, I beg you. In the part of the world that we come from, Ghana, Accra, you need to be street smart. I'm sorry, I'll take that. So, would you let your kid have social media? I would. Honestly, I think that by the time that we have children, right, social media will become so common. Like, it's even become so common now. And maybe I would just not allow it at a certain age, like a very, very young age. Maybe, no. But I can't say that I won't let my child have social media, even though there are some threats and there are some disadvantages that come with allowing your children to use social media. But this takes me back to when I said there's no formula of raising a child. Someone might say that I will never let my children use social media, and think that that's a way to make them, right. But then maybe the child will still not turn right if you take social media away. There's no formula. I'm just going to put all of my trust in God, and I will let them use social media. I won't deprive them of that, because there are so many good things as well that we can get from social media. I don't want to focus on the negatives too much. Just think about all the good things that could come out of that, and just commit the whole journey of parenting into God's hands. So yeah, I would let them use it. Are we getting somewhere? I think we're getting somewhere, guys. It doesn't look as bad from where I'm sat now and from what I'm seeing in the camera. I'm looking at the viewfinder. I don't know why I keep doing that. I don't see myself. Well, this is me looking at it from this side. When I'm editing and I see something else, I don't know. But I don't think it's that crazy. Okay, I think I need to contour. I wouldn't contour too much because I think I have a problem with my forehead. That every time I apply makeup on my forehead, it's never balanced. Like, what would be my future go-to when I was your age? To my children. Okay, let's go. I think I have a couple. When I was your age, I actually don't know. Actually, I don't. When I was your age,
Go ahead and tell your friends.
I think I'm stuck. Guys, I don't know. When I was your age,
You need me when it's getting dark.
guys, there's definitely something that I can say. It's just not coming to me. Well, I'll do this later, but I know for sure that there's something that I can say. Not even just one thing. Look at me and how I thought I had multiple things to say. It will come to me later. It's just because I'm trying to do my makeup. And I've gotten to the crucial part, which is eyeliner. I really don't want to mess this up. Let me pause on the questions for now. We'll get back to them after I'm done with this.
You don't have to play smart. We can take it slow. You know it. It's a blessing, and I know we can take it to the next level. If you let go, boy, you don't have to play smart. We can take it slow. You know it.
I think my eyeliner is a bit dry, so it's not really showing there, but I'm going to do same at this side and see. I actually like that, so it's not that pigmented.
Boy, loving is a safe card.
So that's just done. Is it nice? I think it's okay.
Boy, you don't have to play smart. We can take it slow. You know it. Every time it's a blessing, and I know we can take it to the next level.
What do you want your kids to say about you one day? One day, I want my children. One day, I want my children to say that I have the best mommy in the world. One day, I want my children to say that I have the best mommy in the world ever. And then literally argue that out with their friends. Because obviously, maybe their friends will be trying to say, no, I have the best mommy. And they would give points as to why their mom is the best mom ever. That's quite silly, but generally, I just want them to say that, like, they have such an amazing mom. Like, they love their mom so much. When they think about me, the first thing that should come to mind should be something good and something they love so much. Like, you know that thing where when you think about someone, the first thing that comes to mind is something negative. That's quite sad, but it's just like that for some people. I don't want that to be me. No, far from that. Far, far, far from that. I want them to struggle to think of something bad about me when they think about me. So yeah, I'm just concealing the... do I need to conceal? Okay, this is foundation anyway, so it's going to work. If my future kid told me they wanted to be a content creator, what's your first honest reaction? Oh my god, you are just like your mom. But honestly, I think that's going to be my first reaction, that wait, wow, that is my child. Yes, that's my child. First of all, it's just like my child telling me that, Mom, I want to cook, like I love cooking, I want to have a restaurant like in future. I used to say that a lot when I was a child. I will, first of all, before anything else, I will just know that yes, this is my child. Same for the content creator thing. And then I will want to know what exactly they want to do, kind of content they want to create. I don't know exactly what I would do then, but this is just me trying to think about it. I've never thought about this, but I would encourage them because I would encourage them and maybe and guide them as to how they can do it safely, because the internet is a very scary place. We all know that. But I wouldn't shut them out. I wouldn't tell them they can never do that. I don't think I'll do that at all. Even if I think they're at the age where maybe it wouldn't be great to start then, I would find a way with the help of God to encourage them. I would never shut them out. Like anything that my child wants to do or any of my children want to do, I don't think I would ever shut them out completely. No. even if I think it wouldn't be so great, then I would find a way to talk to them about it. You know, yeah, but I would be happy that I've given birth to someone that's just like me. This is not part of the questions, right? But one of the things that I won't say I fear, but I think I'm going to be so jealous and get like when I get married and I have kids, and then most of my children, or let's even say all of my children, have more of my husband's traits than they have mine. I bet me, yeah, it will hurt a bit. Like, if none of my kids like to cook, let's say the man that I end up with doesn't exactly like to cook, doesn't like content creation, just doesn't like all of that, and all of my kids are like that, I beg me, yeah, papa. It will seriously hurt me. I think about that sometimes. But if I have 4 kids or 3 kids, let's say, for sure, there's going to be one that would enjoy cooking as much as I do, or even love it more than I do. I pray so. Yeah. I need to do my contour now. I don't know why I still haven't done that. I used to contour with the Fenty stick, but I think it has dried out so much. I don't really use it now. I'll show you the contour I'm using, guys, from this palette. I'll put it on the screen when it's time. The next question: are you the type to throw a Pinterest perfect first birthday for your child, or order pizza and call it a day? If you guys don't know me, I like to do things. Like, I think the people that already know me on this channel know what I will do, but just in case you're watching me for the first time, I would rather throw a Pinterest perfect party. It doesn't have to be perfect, but I would want to do something other than order pizza or just sing happy birthday and call it a day. I'm that kind of mom, yes, or I am going to be that kind of mom. I know myself. That's pretty straightforward. I'm doing the contour. That's probably not how you do it. As soon as I apply it, I just like to go in with my foundation brush just to brush over. What is your parent's superpower going to be? Patience, multitasking, or lying with a straight face? It would be multitasking. I know myself. I think I multitask pretty well. I think I've spoken about it so many times in this video. I'm a great multitasker when I know how to do all the things that I'm doing at once very well. So if I'm cooking, if I'm, let's say, cleaning, if I'm taking care of my children, like let's say feeding them or something, and if all these things I know how to do it properly, I can multitask easily. Would I rather have a super quiet baby or a super chill teen? I feel like if my teenager is super chill or super quiet, I would not mind that at all. I would love that, actually. I would not mind at all, honestly, because I just want my child to be free. If you are an extrovert, if you're loud, just, be yourself. If you're bubbly, if you're quiet, just be quiet. But a loud baby, a baby that's always crying. Imagine I have my first child and that child likes to cry, likes to shout in the middle of the night, doesn't want to sleep, wants to just cry, and cry some more. I don't know. I don't know about that one. I would rather prefer a quiet baby. I always think about parents that travel with children, not children, babies that will cry the entire flight, or like you just go to an event with your baby and your baby is just crying all over the place and everywhere is dead quiet, but the only sound that we can hear is your baby's cry. I honestly don't know what I will do. I almost feel for the mother. I'm just like, hey, what would the mother do? Like, how can the child be just shouting all over the place at this time or by this time? I'm about to do my blush now. Again, I already did the blush, but this is powder blush. I'm about to do that. Just a mix of pink and orange. The question, do you think your kids will be scared of you, respect you, or roast you daily? I think they'll roast me a lot, actually. I want to be like that with my kids because actually we do it with our mom a lot. We roast her and she'll be roasting us back when we do. But yeah, I think they will do that, and I think they would respect me as well as their mom. I don't think they would be scared of me because I don't want that for my kids. I don't want to have that kind of, like, my kids cannot come to me to talk to me about something, that kind of I'm scared of you, mommy. No, I don't want that. They don't say it, but obviously when your child is scared of you, they can't come and tell you things. but there would be respect, okay? I feel like there's a thin line between respect and being scared of your parents. They would respect me, but then they wouldn't be scared of me. And they would roast me just as much as I roast my mom sometimes. And we'd just be roasting each other in a funny way. It's just something that girls do with your moms, I think. Okay, next question. Can you guys see the blush application? I can't see it because it's getting dark. Are you planning to start new traditions with your new family or revive old ones? Yes, I want to start some traditions. There's so many things that I would want to do with my own family that my current family we don't quite do. I can't even just remember some or just say some because I can't remember anything now, but I just know for sure that's something I want to do. So many things that my family currently we don't do, but I want to do with my new family when I get married and have kids. And there are some things that we used to do in my family earlier on that we don't do anymore, I think. But that's just because I think we don't all find ourselves in the same space very often, because Mark, Meg and I were out here in the UK for school. My brothers are in Ghana, my mom and dad are in Ghana as well. So we're not always together. But I think at the very, very early stages, when it was just me, Mark and Meg, I think my dad used to take a lot of pictures of us. Actually, I don't know where those pictures are now, but then we used to spend a lot of time with him. Like, he wasn't exactly based in Ghana, but then whenever he would come back home to Ghana, he would bring us so many gifts, I remember, and then he would be taking pictures. He had this camera. We take the pictures on the camera. If I find some pictures of me that my dad took, I think I took a couple of them on my phone, and if I find them, I'll put them here. But then he would take them and then print them immediately, and then write like the memories at the back or the dates or something like that. That's something that I would love to do. I would want to document the lives of my children and even that of just my family in general, just so we could look back and watch them over the years. I don't think that I would share all of it like on YouTube, for example, but I always say this thing that I think I'll open a private YouTube account for my family and just my very, very close friends to watch if they want to. After what happened to me with the hard drive, I don't know why I used to think the hard drive was such a safe way to store data. After what happened, I wouldn't want a case where I'll now put all my child's memories on the hard drive. I want to get the clips now and then the thing is broken. Where will we go from there? So I just think YouTube is a very safe space to just upload everything and make my videos private. I have so many private videos, or like let's say 3 or 4 private videos on this channel that aren't related to the content I share here at all, but then they are here. Some of them have been here for more than 3 years, but I just haven't shared them with you guys. So that's the kind of thing that I want to do that my parents didn't do, but I think I would love to do. Who in your family do you low-key act like? I think sometimes I act like my mom, because I think when it comes to cooking and everything related to like working and everything, I'm just like her in a way. Like, I remember my mom, when she used to be a caterer back then. My mom used to be a caterer actually. If I've never said this, my mom went to culinary school. She did all of that. She had a restaurant before she's doing what she's doing now. I don't know if I've ever said this, but yeah, she did that. And when she used to be a caterer, and she used to make wedding cakes as well, something she learned, like, but she stopped all of that. Anyways, back then, when she had an order, I was so little, but she wouldn't sleep until she's done doing what she's doing. Like, she would stay up to cook. And every time I do that as well, Mark will just come and stand there and say, hey, you're just like mommy. Because I think we all have this memory of her doing that. So I think sometimes I behave like that. Like when it comes to cooking and sometimes work, I'm just like her in a way. And obviously I'm my dad's child as well. I think I do have some his traits as well. I think I do act like him sometimes too. But yeah, I'm their fruit, so it's not shocking that I do behave like them sometimes. Are you more of a let the house be lived in or nobody sits on the couch kind of adult? The couch is there so that people can sit on the couch. So I think what this question actually means is, would you have people just mess the house up, or just not mess the house up? I think this is what this question is trying to say. I think I would design my house in a way that would be child friendly. As they grow up, probably change the design of my house. Not the design, but like just the way things are in my house. Just to, because obviously they would be much older. They will probably not be painting on walls or be drawing on walls. Honestly, I don't think I would mind if my children go and draw on the walls. Obviously, I wouldn't want them to do that. But if they do that, they are kids. I will probably talk to them to not do that. But if they do, they are children, So I would design my house in a way that would accommodate them and their excesses and all the things that they will do that would probably annoy me. But so they can sit on the couch however they want to and be free. Like when you come to my house, I want you to be free and not think that you don't sit this way, you don't do things this way. But then again, I feel like balance is important. That doesn't mean that I want my house to be messed up. I wouldn't want that, I know, because I'm able to be productive when things are clear and when things are not too messy. So just to help me be productive as well, most of the time, I would like that people would respect my space when they do come into my house. What's your plan if your kid grows up and turns out cooler than you? I'll be very happy, actually. I want my children to be better than me in every aspect of life, in every aspect, and I mean that. So if my kids are cooler than me, then that's 1 point scored. So I would love that, actually. Would you ever live in a multi-generational home? So basically, this question is asking me, would I maybe live in a home where my parents are there, maybe my man's parents are there, our children, just all of that. I feel like at the very early stages, let's say first year, second year, third year, I don't know, but maybe, okay, my window is closed. Guys, I just saw the biggest bee ever outside my window, and I thought my window was open. I think at the start, my man and I will be okay on our own, right? But I feel like when we have kids, right, our families will want to help us and we would gladly accept the help. For me, I would gladly accept the help. So then that's when I feel like family would come in. And honestly, I don't know, I'm just saying this, but I think that's when maybe his mom would want to come and stay with us to help. My mom would probably want to come and stay with me to help, or my parents, I don't know. But I wouldn't say that. I can never ever see that happening. I don't think so. So yeah. If your kid wrote a roast to my parents TikTok, what would they say about you? They'll say that my mother, she just likes to cook so many things. I'm so tired of all of these different things that she likes cooking. Every day we have to try something new. I'm so tired of this. I think my kids should prepare to be sick of me because they are going to try all the things that, if I want to try a new recipe, obviously they are the ones that are going to try it. And obviously my partner, so they all have to be ready. What's a school lunch you would never pack for your kid? I don't know. Maybe I won't pack a lot of vegetables for them just because I know children do not like vegetables. Maybe I would, do those recipes where they hide the vegetables in maybe a chicken nugget or something. They wouldn't exactly know that they're eating vegetables, but they're actually eating vegetables. So I can make a chicken nugget with lots of vegetables hidden in it. Obviously that's why I'm going to be a culinary genius. So I'm going to learn how to do that. But I don't think I'll be that mom that'll be packing plenty vegetables for the child to eat when I know they won't eat it. But I think I will give them a lot of fruits. I think they would actually like fruits because fruits are sweet, they are nice, and I think they would have some favorite fruits, and I would give them that a lot. So yeah, if your kid drew on your white walls with markers, are you laughing or crying? I'm not going to laugh because it's not funny. I will not cry, but I will let them know that I'm not happy with what they've done at all. And that's why I said earlier on that when I have kids, right, or before I even have kids, I'm not going to let my house look a certain kind of way. When you come into the house, you know that this house was designed with kids in mind. That's about the fact that we're going to have kids. Because imagine walking into a house or a living room with a very white couch, everything is white. I just don't think that's kid friendly. So that doesn't mean that I might have some white walls. Actually, I will have some white walls, and if they stain the walls, if they draw on the walls, I'll let them know that mommy is not happy with you, but the world doesn't end after they do that. Do you get what I mean? So yeah, guys, we're just finishing up. I feel like this is not my best look ever, but I've tried. I was multitasking, guys. I was talking to you guys while I was doing this, so please bear with me. What type of school trip parent will you be? The organizer, the snack dealer, or the one who forgot the permission slip? I honestly don't want to be doing too much as a mom. At the point where I'll be organizing the school trips. I don't know if this is what they mean, but then the snack dealer, like to pack a lot of snacks for my child, I might do that. Yeah, actually I will do that. And let me get one more question and then I'll go back to doing the makeup. What's the one household chore you're forcing your future children to master? To clean after themselves. I think that's a very important thing. I think that's super important because why would you go to the kitchen, for example, and then make a meal or something for yourself and just leave the kitchen that way? That's something that I think I will teach them. Let me do this. I hope you guys have enjoyed this so far, but this is what the face is looking like right now. I'm just going to do my lips. That's the last thing. Let me get the stuff that we use for my lips. Would you let your kid have a phone before age 10 if everyone else did? The way that I want to bring my kids up, I don't want to bring them up in a way, like I don't want to be copying other people. Do you get what I mean? Now, I don't plan on copying people's parenting styles. I plan on getting inspiration or getting inspired by people's parenting styles, but I don't plan on copying exactly what people are doing and, coming to do copy and paste for my children. Children are different, and apart from the fact that children are different, they all grow up in different homes. The house is different from my house, their environment is different from mine. I can't use the exact process that they are using to train up their child to train up my child, but I can get inspired from how they train up their child, right? Or how they're training up their children. If they say that they wouldn't allow their children to have phones before the age of 10, they have good reasons why. If I also decide that my children will not have phones before the age of 10, I believe that I would have good reasons as to why I'd say that. But I wouldn't say just because everyone around me is giving their children and phones before 10, then I must do that. No, I have to have a good reason as to why I'm doing that before I do it, okay? So I don't plan on being a copy and paste mom when it comes to parenting. I don't think it is sustainable, That's just my opinion. Are you ready to help your kid with math homework, or are they on their own? I think this is supposed to be a funny question. Yes, I will help my child with math homework if I can. Honestly, I feel like with basic algebra and because I'm doing my lips, it's hard to talk at the same time, but I'm coming. Let me just line my lip and then answer that question. Honestly, I think that with stuff like algebra, I can help my child, and with some other math things, like I did math IGCSE, I did math A-level, even though I wasn't so great at it, but there are definitely some things that I can help my children with when it comes to math, like if they're in grade 6 or, I can definitely help with them, and I would love to if I can. I would absolutely help them if I can.
The way you make me feel.
Do you think your kids will ever take your advice or just do what they want and say you were right 10 years later? Well, I hope that they take the advice that I give them. But if they don't, I hope that at some point they will come to realize that they should have listened to the advice and then reflect on that and then just continue. I just feel like life is like that. We make mistakes, we learn, and then we continue. It's bad when you don't learn from your mistakes and you just keep going. I would love that for them if they could do that reflection bit. But maybe it will save them a lot of trouble if they just listen from the start. What would your younger self think of the life you're building right now? I think my younger self will be super proud of me. And I'm not just saying this, but as someone who was just a very confused teenager and was just very confused at the early stages of her life, which is pretty normal, I think. Like, not every child knows exactly what they want to do when they're much older. Bear in mind, I knew I always wanted to cook, but I just didn't know how I even get there. Like, I knew I wanted to cater for people's events because I used to see my mom do it and I just loved it so much. So I loved that, but I just didn't really know what I wanted to do or how I wanted to get there. So I think my future self will be super proud of me. No, I said my future self, my younger self will be super proud of how far I've come. My younger self, not my future self. My younger self will be super proud of me and how far I've come.
Can't go one more day without you.
Okay guys, let's turn the lights back on. I hope that you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, kindly leave a thumbs up or like it and leave a comment in the comment section below. Let me know what you think I did well, what you think I can do better in terms of this video, not the makeup please, because I already said I am not a pro at doing makeup, okay? Let me know what I can do better in this video or in this type of video, what I can do better next time I do a get ready with me. And I will work on it. I'll also work on the lighting, guys. I don't like that I didn't have consistent lighting throughout. Anyways, I'm out, guys. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and comment. Okay, I love all of you guys. Bye.